Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. You can read and watch thousands of material on game. You still have to execute. You still have to execute. See, one of the things I see a lot of people, they can watch all the videos, they can like all the videos, they can get all the books, listen to everybody, they can quote like different content creators who are talking about game or just women in general. And shoot, you know what? Even beyond game, even beyond the game of man against woman, the game of life, and they still haven't gone any place, you know? They still haven't gone any place. Yeah, they can be big fans. They could probably quote everything. They still haven't gone any place. It's like the game of basketball. You know what? Somebody can tell you, you can watch some videos and somebody can say, yeah, okay, this is how you do a drop step, you know, a step away, how you move your feet and everything. But then you never play a game of basketball. One of the things you got to do is go out there and execute. That's why I always say, you got to try. You still have to try everything. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. You still have to try everything. You have to try to make it work in everything. That's very important. You know, you got to see what works, because even for no matter, I don't care, like I present a certain philosophy, body game, right? Body game. And everything is based on it, because what I say, body is the base. Body is the base. That's a base and a bait, right? So, okay, you got to see how it works for you, which body. I don't say a specific body. I just say, hey, get some muscles. But even that's still very general. You got to see what works for you. That's why I say you got to get out there. You got to see which women are responding to your body, because different women like different bodies. It's just that simple. Ain't no science to it. Ain't no scientific thing that said, oh, you got to have specifically this type. No, some women like big men, some women like slim men. You know, some women like a little bit to play with on a man's body. Every woman is different, you know. But the only way you're going to know what specifically works for you is you go out there. You got to find your shot. Let me use a basketball analogy. Everybody has different shots. You got some guys, they can take it right to the hoop, but they can't shoot a three-pointer. You got some guys who can shoot a three-pointer, but can't make a layup. You got some guys, they can put the ball back. Some guys, you know, they can steal the ball, play defense, whatever. You got to see what works for you. The most I do is give you perspective. And I give you a certain philosophy based on body game, but then what do I say? What do I say? You still got to talk to them. You still got to know who your tribe is. That's all you can do. You got to figure it out for yourself. You know, a lot of times I get some guys hit me up privately and say, well, what do I say? What do I do? I don't know that woman. They be asking about specific women and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know her. I don't know what works. Only way you going to find out is talk to her. You got to see what she likes. You got to see what's up. Now, if you can hit me up, ask some questions, but even then, I can just give you a certain perspective. I can give you a general perspective, but you know, I ain't been around it. Only way I could give a very specific perspective on one particular woman, I had to know her. I had to know her personally. I had to know what she liked, what her values are and everything, you know? Because too often guys think it's just some like cookie cutter thing. Nah. So, especially when you're talking about yourself, you know? Because I remember I had one guy, he said, yeah, you know, I'm going to try to talk like you and all of that stuff. And I said, no, you can't do that because you're not me. Because let's use that for example. You don't look like me. So I could say something to a woman and she's like, ooh. And the same guy could say the exact same words, even try to mimic the intonation and everything, and fail miserably because he don't look like me. Because he don't know what that woman likes. He don't know what her social class is, circumstance. Because understand something. You have to know what works for you, where it works for you. You have to know your environment. You know, what's the environment? What's the country? What's the background, everything? What body builds does she like? You know, what religion does she like? You got to figure out basically, okay, how does what she likes correspond to what I present? That's why you can't get every woman. And you don't need to. You don't need to. But you got to figure out, okay, this is what draws women to me. This works the best, because ultimately, ultimately you have to develop your own game. I've talked about that before. And then you have to go out there and see what works. For some guys, they're going to have to be more, they got to be more aggressive. For some guys, they got to be more aggressive. Other guys, they need to chill out more, One of my biggest videos, my most popular video is that video about not trying too hard if you're handsome. I'm going to use that for an example. If you like a genuinely handsome man and you're approaching a woman too hard, they're going to be like, what's wrong with them? What's going on with them? So you might have to chill out a bit because they expect you to like have all these women on you. So they're going to be like, if you approach that woman real hard, they're going to be like, what's wrong? Or how come you don't have a girlfriend? Whereas somebody who's more average looking or I'll say below average looking, they probably have to be very aggressive. And you know what? Some women respond to that. Some women actually like that. But some women. See, you got to first see who you are. Who you are. You got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out, okay, what they're saying resonate to me. Let me take that, fit it into what my program is. Figure out who you are, and then figure out which women are receptive to it. And it's a very simple thing. If you don't like the women who are receptive to it, then you have to change yourself. You have to adjust yourself, And you got to look at so many factors. If it was a one-size-fits-all thing, you wouldn't, please, we wouldn't have any relationship problems. People would just do the one-size-fit-all, So that's very important. And look, very important. You still have to get out there. Yes, you get a good time watching all the videos and everything. You learn a lot, maybe entertain, might hit on some gems. Okay. You got to go out there and talk to the women. You got to get into the game. Using a basketball analogy, you got to get into the game. You got to figure out what your shot is, what your spot is, and everything. You got to figure out, okay, this is my spot right here. I can make the shots generally from right here, Or like when you get the ball, it's like, okay, this ain't my shot right here. Let me pass it. You got to learn what to do. My thing is just getting the rebounds and putting them back in. Okay, let me put myself in position for that. But the only way you're going to know it is you got to get out there. You got to get out there, all right? It's that simple. It's that simple. There's nothing else to say. You got to figure out what works for you. What works. And you'll know, and nobody has to tell you what works for you. Because you should know. You should know. It's like, I got the women doing this. Okay, let me repeat it. Boom. I get these type of women show interest. Okay, I need to find out where these type of women are. Boom. There you go. So, anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.